Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I tell you, we got another fantastic show coming your way today. We're going to talk about a topic that we haven't discussed. I don't think we discussed this topic at all in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm excited about the guests that we got coming on. I'm certainly excited about the topic because what this young man is doing, him and his team, is remarkable. And it's helping people all around the world. And he continued to make things better. And I'm not going to take away Michelle Thunder in introducing with this product and this young man that we got on the show today. But I tell you, regardless of which platform that you're watching this on, whether it's E360 television, transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, over 55 other live streaming platforms, welcome to the show. And if you would be part of the conversation, all you have to do, just go to the platform that you're on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. You know, as always, I cannot even start a show without the executive producer and the co-host, Dr. Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. And you're right, we never had this topic on the show before. So it's going to be very interesting with this amazing entrepreneur. So we're excited. Audience, please, whatever live streaming platform you watching the show, please ask questions, put in comments, and just join in this conversation.
Michelle, can you introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is How Technology is Disrupting the Medical Industry. And we're having a sit-down discussion with Ishan Patel. He's an entrepreneur and the CEO founder of Audien Hearing, talking about the role of regulatory changes, affordability and accessibility in healthcare, the impact of digital marketing in healthcare, Audien's approach to healthcare innovation. So Ishan Patel, again, is an entrepreneur with a decade of experience building online companies in the product, service, and health spaces. Most notably, Patel is the CEO, co-founder of Audien Hearing. Audien is a bootstrap startup that started in the garage and has since grown to be the highest volume selling over-the-counter hearing brand in the world. Patel created the lowest cost OTC hearing aid and made Audien the first hearing company in history to launch nationwide with Walmart. Patel has been nominated for Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year Award and is regarded as an industry-leading expert in the OTC hearing space. He's a cat dad, foodie, and a snowboarder. He also enjoys public speaking, gives several keynote speeches a year. He resides in Fountain Hills, Arizona with his wife. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Ishan Patel.
Hey, everyone. Really thanks for having me on the show. Glad to be here.
Wow, man, we're glad to have you here, Isha, because just like I mentioned, that this is a topic that we had not explored, and it's so important to all the people around the world. And your company is producing things that's extremely helpful for everybody. So, welcome to the show. But Isha, I want to start out. We always start with the first segment is our audience and viewers getting an opportunity to know who you are. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners who you are, what makes you click, why you so passionate about your job, and where you come up with this great idea that you're going to save the world in that particular arena?
Absolutely. So, I like to think that I've been a bit of an entrepreneur at heart since I was a kid. Started in Toastmasters at a young age. I love speech and debate. I just love the idea of being able to share an idea and a vision with a community of people and ultimately do something that helps people, that makes a difference. And so actually that's what eventually led me to Audien Hearing. So one of my co-founders back in 2017 had informed me that OTC hearing aids were getting approved because unfortunately, historically, about 80% of people who have hearing loss and need a hearing aid do not wear one, which is a staggering statistic. And so we knew this was something that really needed disruption and there needed to be a change for all the people that needed this help. For me, what made me tick and really makes me so passionate about this started for me close to home at a young age. My grandfather suffers from pretty severe hearing loss, and it really impacted our family. Like being a first generation Indian American, there's usually 10 to 12 of us stacked around like a 6-seater table, just all stacked on top of each other. So despite that quite noisy environment, I saw him just start to check out and really just disconnect. And then it eventually kind of looked like he wasn't even there or was actively sort of unhappy or depressed. And these moments were the most important moments of our day and really special for the family. So I saw how that impacted his ability to communicate with me, my own relationship with him, the relationship with his wife, with my mom, and just the whole family. And so when this opportunity came across, with my co-founders, I just knew it was something that really mattered to me and wanted to make a difference in.
Wow. So, entrepreneurship, was entrepreneurship always in the family, or is something that you stumbled on? Because I know that you created many, many companies, many, many products. So how did the idea of entrepreneurship just lock into your mind? And was it a family, just like I mentioned, family, friends, etc., where you said, "This is what I want to do"? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the first example of entrepreneurship in my life was definitely with my father. Being Indian, typically the whole joke is that you can be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, right? And so my dad was very much going the doctor route. He actually ended up becoming a pharmacist and then opening up his own pharmacy. But he really wanted to do something that would help people and be more preventative medicine. So he ultimately opened his own clinical nutrition practice. And albeit it was really inspiring for me to see him follow that dream. I also got to see from a young age the struggles of him trying to start that company, run that company, having success, having failure. And honestly, it was a really important lesson. But my family always really focused on education, just school, grades, etc. So I will say, while I may not be the first entrepreneur in my family, I am definitely the first person to drop out of college to become an entrepreneur. So I would say that that's really where kind of I differed from the rest, is my willingness, I think, to take a little more risk, thanks to just the great foundation my family gave me, but also my desire to do something that mattered to me and to the people that I'm helping.
Wow. So a lot of times, and a lot of people get misconstrued about college. We go to college to learn. We go to college to do a lot of certain things further. But we also, once I believe that we understand, just like you said, you dropped out And look what you're doing today, because you understood the environment, you understood everything that goes into that, which makes a person a better whatever they decide to be. So tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about Audien here and how it all got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So Audien Hearing, it's quite a garage entrepreneur story in the sense that my co-founders and I, one of my co-founders had this really great direct to consumer like e-commerce business model, right? And the other two of us had been in the hearing aid space for a little while, and we just sort of combined it all. And we thought that if we could bring the first sub $100 at the time, $99 hearing device to the market, it would fill a humongous gap that frankly people have been asking for. So we sort of scraped our dollars together, launched Audien in a garage in Tempe, Arizona in March, and quickly saw a huge demand come in. And so it's kind of funny because in July for Arizona, it's like 110, 115 degrees outside. So we had to insulate the walls of the garage. And we had a whole team in there, like packaging and fulfilling materials, myself included, out of that garage. And it was really hilarious to sort of see this like garage operation. And that's really where we started. And I think once we really understood the level of impact this was going to be able to have for millions, actually tens of millions of Americans nationwide, I think that's when this really turned from, hey, this was a cool drop shipping online entrepreneurship idea to, wait a minute, this is something that could leave a really big lasting impact. And frankly, I think be a big factor of the legacy that I hope to leave behind.
Well, so you guys started out a garage. When did you realize, wow, we need a bigger space? We might be over here.
Yeah, so we realized that pretty quickly, man. Like when you got 10,000 hearing aids stuffed into a garage, and you got 18 wheelers dropping off pallets in a residential neighborhood, the neighbors are going, so what are you guys doing? And we wanted to kind of keep it all hush hush because it was all so new. So we're like, don't worry about it, medical product distribution. So they think we're drug dealers, obviously, because what are some pallets of products coming out for? And so we realized pretty quickly, like, hey, we got to get a real space, which actually is the office I'm in now here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we ended up moving into this office about 6 months after. And that's when we like to think we became a real company on that day.
But so how long you guys been in existence? Because you guys doing a whole lot of business.
So the company was originally founded in October of 2019, but the brand Audien Hearing, the full launch to the market, happened in March of 2020. So it's been just over 4 years that we've been in the industry. But I've been in the hearing space much longer than that, since about 2018, and that's right around when OTC hearing aids, over-the-counter hearing aids, were first announced. So despite perhaps my younger age than maybe the average entrepreneur in this space, I have been in the industry as long as it's been around.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, we're gonna take a station break, but this is exciting. So whichever platform that you're watching us on, and I think that all of us need to be involved in this. Let's go to it. Ask Ishan any question that you might have, and I promise you we'll get you an answer. Remember, it's your life. You got to get all the information that you need about everything. It's your life. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
what you fight against. And if you want my opinion, I let it take me away. Only relief is the four on the floor and the crowd that goes, turn it up, 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 turn it up.
Hello, welcome back to James Cooley Show. This show live, and my great guest here, Ishan Patel, is getting a chance to know him and his company a little bit about him. We're gonna dive right back into that. I tell you, great conversation here, great discussion. You want to be part of the conversation? Go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have, and I promise you we'll get you an answer. So Ishan, so starting your startup. 4 years into a company and veering off to different portions of it. Was there any major challenges that you guys faced where you're like, oh, this might not work, or this, I don't know how we're going to do this? Can you tell our viewers and our listeners or any potential entrepreneurs, how does that work when you're facing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, there are almost too many to pick from, right? I think when you see stories like ours, at least towards the middle of the stage here, 4 years in, it's easy to assume that, right place, right time, and got really lucky, which definitely is a factor. But I will say we had so many different situations that we had to ask ourselves, like, are we going to survive this? So first thing is, we're a bootstrapped cash flow funded company. So we didn't raise any money. We launched this company profitably with a $500 budget day one. So I would say that has definitely been a really challenging factor in the sense that, we launched in the peak of COVID. So launching cash flow funded and then having your entire supply chain frozen for months, having thousands of back orders of inventory, customers reaching out, wondering what's going on. We're finding out in real time as this sort of global pandemic is unfolding. So I would say that was definitely a nice curveball thrown at us. That was the first one. And that happened pretty much within 30 days of launching the company, right? So right out the gate, we had a pretty tough one thrown at us.
Wow. So, yeah, you guys launched right before COVID and during COVID. So let's discuss when you're launching a company, especially when you're doing healthcare products, hearing aids, et cetera. There is a role of the regulatory that want to make sure that whatever you bring into the market to the public regarding health, and those rules change over a period of time. And so my question is, let's discuss the role of regulation. How have recent regulatory changes like the FDA created the over-the-counter hearing category influence innovation and the medical advices?
That's a great question. I would say that it's almost like the FDA ruling demanded innovation from the industry, right? It said, hey, look, now you can get hearing aids over the counter. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to take a hearing test. You don't need to spend over $4,000 on average for a pair of hearing aids. But on the other side of that coin are the companies like ourselves that are tasked with delivering that product to the market, right? So I would say that regulatory change was one of the greatest medical advancements of my lifetime for sure. You're talking about hundreds of millions of people worldwide who are not getting the help they need. And now, thanks to this new regulation, we're able to bring products like the Atom Pro 2, which we designed, and I'm actually one of the inventors on the design patent for, right? Where instead of having to get, whatever everyone traditionally thinks of hearing aids, when you look at this product, it kind of flips the narrative on its head, right? And you've just got an earbud style product here that somebody can put directly in their ear and is by the FDA fully compliant and classifies as an over-the-counter hearing aid. So this is the type of innovation that we really wanted to push and bring forth to the market. to really listen to the people who've been asking for this type of device at this price point. It's only $289 for a pair, right? Compared to $4,000, $5,000 of many traditional hearing devices. So that's really what I would say is the main factor of innovation that we're contributing to and that the regulatory changes have led to in our industry.
I'm loving it. I mean, so, but let's talk about. Okay, so most hearing aids are $3,000 to $4,000. That's medical, going insurance, and all that. How are you all able to deliver a product which we did our due diligence that works similar to the same fashion for that least amount of money? And what are the pros and cons compared to a $3,000 or $4,000 pair of hearing aid versus your product?
That's a great question as well. So I would say the first question I always ask people, and I think it really highlights why we believed it was possible, is you look at my iPhone here, right? This is a supercomputer. I think the statement goes that the average iPhone contains the same processing power as the first rocket that went into space, right? So this is a supercomputer that can get to space, and this costs $1,000. So how are you going to really credibly tell me that the only available devices on the market for hearing aids, which are substantially simpler than a supercomputer iPhone or any smartphone, would cost 5 times as much, right? So that was the first sort of moment of what's going on here. So our company is a direct-to-consumer model. So we sell direct to your door, we ship it to your doorstep, and that eliminates a lot of the middleman sort of upselling processes and broker processes. But also now with the new regulations, you're able to get these products in retail stores, right? Like Walmart, which were available in nationwide. Whereas traditionally with a prescription device, you have to go to a doctor, get fitted. Now, in terms of pros and cons, the biggest pros I would say are affordability and accessibility, right? At the end of the day, there are tens of millions of Americans that were not able to take advantage of the existing hearing solutions. And now they are able to take advantage of these hearing solutions. So that's the biggest pro in my book, is that we are able to actually save lives, to change lives that otherwise were completely ignored for 50 years. Now, obviously, like with anything, there are pros and there are cons. The cons being that the amount of technology that may or may not be packed into this price point is a little simpler. You know, it doesn't have some of the bells and whistles of the more advanced technology. And also, of course, for those that need it, it doesn't have the level of prescription grade customization that, you know, some percentage of the hearing loss population would require. And I'm never against visiting your doctor and being more knowledgeable about your health. In fact, I say the opposite. I recommend everybody do that. But the reality is, James, that how many people know that, but are still unable to take action on that just because of whether it's their economic situation, location, access to healthcare, right? Like we all know that there's a lot of challenges there. And we really wanted to bring something to the table that could at least give people a solution that's workable right in front of them and available.
Wow. You and I had a quick discussion when we was in the green room about a lot of people, I think you gave a percentage of people that have hearing problems, hearing issues, that never go to a doctor, never try to resolve those issues because they are thinking that they can't afford it, they can't do this, can't do that. What would you tell the viewers out there that's listening that might have family members or friends, etc., that you can do this over the counter, OTC, and your product that is available without going through all of the extreme paperwork where it's going to cost extreme amount of money? How would you explain that to the customer potential customers that might be thinking, wow, maybe I can do this?
Yeah, I would start by saying to all the viewers and anyone else that they might know and love that could benefit from this, because let's be honest, every single person knows somebody that is affected by or suffering from hearing loss. I've never met anyone that doesn't, right? We made this product for you, for those people that you know, or maybe even for yourself. So I know it may seem like for all these years it's hopeless. The only solutions are perhaps too expensive or out of reach. And, maybe you're someone like me who doesn't directly have the hearing loss problem, but someone you love so dearly has it. And unfortunately, it builds that gap, that bridge between you and your ability to connect and see each other. Just know that now with these OTC hearing aids, with our product in particular, you have something available to you that you can get as low as $98 at Walmart, or this one's only $289 for the pair, available on our website, Amazon, also at Walmart, pretty much everywhere. And you can try this product out of the box in 2 to 5 minutes without any help, and you have a full money back guarantee. There's zero risk of trying. So the biggest thing I would encourage you to do is take that step for yourself or for your loved one, and just know that you don't have to give up that hope, because now there's a solution out there, and my team, my company will work with you to support you and your loved ones through that journey. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, you mentioned for Walmart. That means your product is in Walmart. And what other places? I know Amazon, etc. For our viewers out there that's writing, trying to take this down, like, okay, I'm gonna try this. So your product currently is in Walmart and in the other markets.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're available on Walmart. We're available on Amazon. The best place I always think to get the help and the information you need would just be audienhearing.com. Just the company name in my description there, put together.com. That's where you're going to be able to contact our team if you have any questions, if you want to look at the different options in terms of products out there. So pretty much Walmart, Amazon, or the website are the top 3 places right now. We're working with several other huge retailer partners to kind of set up those launches later in this year because it's a new industry, but we will soon be available pretty much everywhere, probably by the end of the year.
Yeah, so just go back a little bit. We got about 2.5 minutes for the break. And you have mentioned to me through this discussion is immersion innovation of the product and changes that regulatory has incorporated to make sure that the inventor or the provider is providing the right information for our viewers out there that might be a little puzzled. Can you tell them that how that you all are already been through the scrutiny where you fall under the rules and the regulations where, hey, they said that we are ready, that we are doing this and we're doing this in the right way. So you don't have to worry about any issues or concerns. Plus, you also mentioned that they try your product and they get a money back guarantee or some type of
Absolutely.
solution. So can you talk about that? We got about 2 minutes for the break.
Yeah, no worries. So with the FDA regulations, they gave very clear guidelines on what constitutes as an over-the-counter hearing aid. So these products were designed completely around those guidelines. And then obviously we had to go through pretty deep levels of scrutiny to partner with, a company as amazing and far-reaching as Walmart, right? Tons of different certifications and medical documentation and things like that. So all of that's definitely been handled on the back end for you. And all the information you might need about the products is available either on our website or by calling our team. So that's not something you really have to worry about at all. And then with the return policy and the money back guarantee, we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to try this product for a month, at least for 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what platform you're buying on and what the return policy of that platform is. You still have plenty of time to try the product, see the change it makes in your life, and give yourself the time to adapt to this new hearing aid. Because it is a big change, but a really positive one.
I'm liking what I'm hearing, brother. I'm liking what I'm hearing because it's all about bringing, help or about creating products that's going to help everybody out. But just
Absolutely.
making sure that we give them the understanding that there are products out there where you don't have to go through and worry about all these things. Just like what you're saying, your product, $297. You can get it at Walmart and all that. It's available. Look into it. Look into what Ishan is talking about. Look into audiohearing.com. And I tell you what, we're going to take a station break right now. We're going to take a station break. But we're going to come back and we're going to talk to this great young inventor, CEO, him and his team about a lot of other things that's going on. So if you want to be part of the conversation, just go to the platform, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, you'll get your answer. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. We got something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can't be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can't be taken for granted. I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Hey, I'm so drawn to you. I'm so drawn to you. Yeah.
You know, we live in a world today that people don't even care about how people see them. Don't realize that we can affect an entire generation and build our character. But you gotta do it with these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's. In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you were created to be, the one that's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. Wow, really enjoying this discussion with Ishan and his team and the things that his company is doing to bring devices that are reasonable for many Americans or people overseas that might be having challenges as it related to hearing. And just the innovation, thought process, the thinking, and how we can, between him and his team, how that they can put together products that's going to help resolve some of the issues as we relate to hearing. And it requires a lot of technology, a lot of thought process, creating a product that's going to work for most. And that's what this young man company has done and continue to do. So Ishan, I just want to pick back up on what we was leaving off at. How do you and your team go about evaluating this is what is needed at this time? This technology is what's needed at this time to help resolve a lot of problems. As it evolved, we will reach out and grab other technology and other advices from other institutions to help make our product better. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is with product development and design, I think first and foremost, you just have to listen to your customer or listen to the people that you're trying to serve. People have been complaining and struggling and suffering from the traditional hearing aid process for many, many years. So really just kind of learning from the market in terms of what people were saying, what they were wanting was kind of the first step. But I actually, before I was the CEO and founder of my own hearing aid company, I worked in the hearing aid industry. So I actually personally spent time with about 1,000 customers on the phones, either helping them get their hearing aids or providing them support on their device and learning exactly what mattered to them. And I think when you're approaching a technical product that frankly has a very big medical impact on someone's life and just quality of life, it's important to think of it from the consumer, from the user standpoint, not from just the engineering and medical side, right? It's easy to over-engineer a product that perhaps people don't really need or won't fully use. And I think it's a little bit more challenging to sort of figure out what is actually necessary here, what are people going to benefit the most from, or what are they asking for, and delivering that to them. And then the next piece is just, we love talking to our customers, just like you have said several times on the show of like, ask us your questions, get involved. We want to hear from you. Audien Hearing very much is the exact same culture where we have hundreds of thousands of customers nationwide. We have over 500,000, almost 600,000 customers. We're growing by 30 to 40,000 customers a month. And we are getting tens of thousands of phone calls and emails a month from these individuals telling us what they're going through, telling us their stories. So I think making sure we never lose sight of what our actual customer is saying and what they're asking for is the best way to serve them, and then also to look to the future of what features or different changes they're ultimately looking for with the product.
Wow. Ishan, I know we talked about a little bit about this. What challenges or opportunities do medical device companies face in navigating regulatory landscape while striving to innovate and bring new products to the market? Case in point, your product. And I'm sure you guys are working on the next level of your product.
Absolutely.
And you have to go through the same process, I'm assuming, again, with the regulatory to make sure that all of these things are in place, that you're going to get the blessing, FDA, etc. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So thankfully with the OTC regulations, most devices do not need FDA like approval. They just need to be FDA compliant, which is the purpose of OTC, right? Although some functionality does require some special permissions. I think the biggest challenge is the world catching up to what is now available in the marketplace or what we're trying to make available, right? It's that when a new regulation comes out, you have retail partners like the Walmarts and the Best Buys and the Targets of the world all figuring out how to navigate this. And then you've got even furthermore insurance companies figuring out, okay, are we going to cover these types of devices? If so, what does that look like? And even though we're sort of here ready to lead the charge, oftentimes kind of screaming from the top of the hill, like, this is what the customers are asking for. I can show you, and we've got so many people asking for this. Sometimes it just takes a long time for these other institutions to be able to wrap their arms around it and catch up. So I would say for me, the top priority is obviously getting these hearing aids to everybody that needs them. And one of the top obstacles or challenges in that path from a regulatory kind of execution standpoint is figuring out how to get everybody to work together. how to get everybody to agree and understand that this is a life-changing moment for the world, for those with hearing loss, and for just everybody's families. So I'd say that that's what I'm pushing on, most of the time. And I will say we're making some serious progress. I can't give too much information on what the future holds for legal reasons, but let's just say that, a lot of the conversations I'm having these days are extremely exciting and innovative in the sense of pushing the boundaries of how we can all collaborate, how we can work together, and where these types of products can become available.
Wow. And you all are making strides and making sure that the world, not just the United States, but the world, because this problem exists all around the world.
Absolutely.
And you all are making strides to this. Okay, so I want to take it to a different level. In what ways can innovation, manufacturing techniques such as 3D printing, automated assembly process lower the production costs of hearing aids and make more affordable for individuals with limited financial resources?
That's a really good question, and I would say that technology is still very early stages, right? Because you're talking about building a sort of medical device with a 3D printer, finding a way to make that cost efficient and have the highest level of quality. I really believe that the future holds some exciting innovations on that front. I really hope to continue to be a leader sort of on the forefront of that technology. Right now, because these products are so new, I'm not seeing that utilized that wide scale. I've definitely explored some of that myself, especially on the 3D printing side, but haven't yet found a solution that I think delivers the level of quality and consistency we're looking for. But I'm willing to bet that it is right around the corner. I do see that coming soon.
Wow. You had mentioned earlier, I think in segment 1, about the cell phones. You gave a scenario about space. And so my question is, can you discuss the roles of smartphone apps, wearable devices, enhancing the functionality and usability of hearing aids, while also providing personalized features and setting to meet the diverse needs of the user?
Absolutely, and it's funny. That's what we're working on right now. We actually have a new product coming out in a couple of months here that's going to really encapsulate all of the stuff you just said. But I would say that smartphones, wearable devices, and just general medical technology advancements for interconnectivity has come a really long way. I think that if done correctly, you can basically combine with the existing tools that somebody's interacting with on a daily basis to create results that maybe they're not currently getting, right? Combining your hearing aid functionality with your smartphone allows for more customization, audio streaming, music streaming, taking phone calls, but it's not just that. And without kind of spoiling too much of what we have in development here from a product standpoint, there are other medical technologies you can fuse into a hearing device and then pair with kind of the software capabilities of your smartphones to provide much needed support, whether it be perhaps vital sign monitoring or some other functions that we've got in the works in the lab right now. I really think that if done correctly, that can be a huge benefit. I will say I think that as a whole, the industry focused too much a little bit on the high-tech connectivity aspects and not enough on the customer experience and usability of the product, right? If you've got an 84-year-old who is not as comfortable with programming a hearing aid themselves via a self-fitting application, then how do you make sure you have a device that fits that person's needs versus the person who wants the more app-driven response?
Wow. Hold that thought. We got to take. I don't even want to go to the state of the break because the way that you were explaining this and your views and your foresight is going to create, I believe, a lot of things that's going to help raise your product, what you're doing right now, and the awareness that these things are available. So I tell you, we're going to take a station break. Enjoying my conversation with Ishan. We're going to come back and we're going to pick it up from there. We still got some more time. We got another segment. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you in there and say, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying my conversation with my great guest, Ishan Patel. And I always look at it like this: when you got young minds that understand and that reach out and that see problems in the world, and they go out and try to tackle these problems by using their mind, their life experiences, and surround themselves with people that are like-minded like them. They go out and create solutions, solving problems, not just for the United States, but around the world. I believe that that's what this guest has been doing, and he continued to do these things because it's all about continuing to build upon a product that is working, and that a product that is bringing joy and happiness and relief to a lot of people that might be suffering and having problems as relate to hearing. or their friends or their family members or loved ones as it relate to hearing. And most of us always try to exhaust every means that we can through our insurances, which, as you know, we got to get that under control because uh, insurance, especially when it comes to hearing devices and other things, they want to charge, the companies want to make all the money that they can get and put that burden on the individuals. But I believe that this young man understands that, and he is focused on not the insurance problem, but creating a product that just as good, work just as well, but maybe 300, 400, 500, 1,000% cheaper. Yeah. And so I want to bring it back to you, Ishan, on that is you and your team, and I guess the committees that you formulate, do you guys talk about these type of things on, okay, how can we come up with a product and come up with that's just as efficient, efficient, that's going to satisfy the needs of the patient or the users? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely do. I mean, we have our whole product roadmap. We're releasing a couple products this year, and every year we will be. And we really ask ourselves, what functionality are are our customers asking for, and do they need? And then also, what use cases or functionality might they not be thinking of that we can actually bring to the table? I think one advantage of being sort of young and maybe even a little naive, a dreamer, and not having as many preconceived notions about the way things should be done is that our team is able to put together ideas for the way that these products should be designed or the way they should be interacted with that maybe the customer themselves wouldn't have thought of. However, that's only half of the balance, and the other half is actually taking what the customer is asking for and delivering or hopefully over delivering on that to the customer. So absolutely, we're thinking about that all the time. But it is a balance because we have to maintain, or we want to maintain, the affordability and the accessibility factor that is our mission, right? So how do we make sure that we get that job done while maintaining a price point that is frankly even accessible in the first place? Because as much as I would love to put every single feature in these products, and as much as I'm sure every customer would love to use it all, if the price enters a range that is simply outside of the realm of affordability or reasonability for the user, then they no longer become a customer. So I kind of use the phrase of, look, it's amazing if you want to save the world, by creating the best product ever. But if the product is something that nobody can even get to or utilize, how can you help anyone, right? So it's definitely a balance that we try to maintain. And I like to think we're doing a good job. It seems like our customer base and the communities that we support are pretty happy with the way it's being done.
You know, we're down to the last 3 minutes of the show, but just observing, just listening to you and getting a better understanding of the industry that you're in, I believe that you all are in the best interest of the customer. And insurance going to do what insurance got to do. But I believe that you all are going out and saying, hey, we got to satisfy the desire of the patient or whoever need this, and your company is focused on that. So what are a couple of takeaways that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this great discussion?
I would say the first main takeaway is that if you're somebody who suffers from hearing loss, if you know or love somebody that suffers from hearing loss, we're here for you. We made these products for you. And I really hope that you're able to try them out, get them to the people who need them, give the gift of hearing to someone you love or to yourself. and just really would be honored and humbled to support you through that journey for the rest of your life, because this is a lifelong journey together. So that's really the message I want to get out to the viewers, for those that need it, right? Now, those that may not, or those that may just be looking to learn a little bit more about different industries, expand their own perspectives, as this show does such a great job of doing, I think the message I want to get across to you is that just because the world is a certain way and things are done a certain way and people are treated a certain way does not mean it has to stay that way. Just because you're going through something in life, just because you're suffering, you're struggling, just because something bad may be happening to you or continue to happen to you, does not mean that it will stay that way or has to stay that way. You just have to dream.
Let me innovate.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what you just said is one of the main phrases that I quote when I'm a motivational speaker. You already know that when I'm speaking. Your current situation is not your final destination.
That's a much better way of saying it. That's a lot better than what I was saying, but that's what I meant.
How can folks reach out to you, reach out to your company, reach out and get your devices? We got a minute or less. How can they reach out and say, hey, I want your device. I'm wherever that your device is at, I'm going to get one and try it out and reach out to your company.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to audienhearing.com, AUDIEN hearing.com, and you can see everything you need there. You can contact our team. And even if you want to mention, my name or that you saw me on this show to the team, I have no doubt they'll pass that up to me, and maybe I get an opportunity to connect with some of you guys personally. That would be amazing.
Ishan, you've been amazing, and I don't take that lightly when I say amazing. I mean, because
I appreciate it.
I do a show every day, live, just like what we're doing, and I'm so thrilled with what you're doing, and you and your team, and I just want to salute you guys.
Right back at you.
Continue to be
really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm really grateful for getting the chance to connect with you and talk to you, and proud of what you're doing for all of your viewers, what your channel, what your brand, what your message stands for. I believe in it completely. You've got a like-minded individual, kind of a fellow entrepreneur and dreamer on the other side of this camera. So I'm glad to get connected and appreciate you taking the time to spend with me on this show.
I appreciate that, but Krista and her team would never send you to me unless they thought you was great, and I'm feeling the same way. So I want to thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. But most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for taking the time to tune into the James Cooley Show. It's your life, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and also Sunday syndicated radio, KCBQ AM 1170, Answer FM 96.1, and another 55 live streaming platforms. My message to you is always to dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. We'll see you then.